Devon Meadows is the co-founder of the Ads Lab, one of the most successful advertising communities on Skool. In this video, I talk with Devon about why Facebook ads are actually becoming easier for beginners.
We only open our ad account like every 2 weeks. We make all the decisions in like 30 minutes.
How he launched his new AI creatives community to help creators maintain their humanity while using AI tools.
Something we say a lot in the AI creatives group is like the only way out is vibe. The act of being creative is the point.
And his belief that developing taste rather than chasing efficiency is the only way to stand out in an AI-saturated world.
If you want to make something better than what everyone else can make, you have to.
Devon, really excited to be speaking with you today. I've known you on the platform for a very long time, but this is the first time I think we've gotten to speak face to face. Lots to talk about today. I want to talk about the Ads Lab first and really try to help people who are just getting into Skool understand how they can use ads to build their communities. Do you have any
Sweet.
off the cuff advice for somebody who's just starting out?
Dude, yeah. So it's now summer 2025. We started the Ads Lab like in April 2024. So it's been a little over a year. We started it like the day the Pixel came out on Skool. Actually, we like pivoted to Skool only, and like a lot has changed. So like the wisdom shifts around a lot. If you're just starting on ads now, I actually think it's a lot easier to get set up. It's a lot easier to do the media buying. The challenging part is like getting the offer right and getting the creatives right. So as far as like how to win with Facebook and Instagram ads right now, the campaign structure is really simple. Like we have one campaign now that we just run everything in for one of our businesses, and it works just as well as most of the campaigns that we split up in different ways, like cold traffic, warm traffic, and the email list over here and exclusions. And so it's actually getting easier to run Facebook ads, which is great.
That's surprising to me. Is that because
Yeah.
Facebook is getting better at its algorithm is just serving the right people more, or like why is that happening?
I think that they are starting to actually do a good job at running ads to the right types of people if you define your audiences. So you have to define like engaged audiences versus purchased customer audiences. But if you set these definitions, then when you create a campaign, it's just doing the work underneath now that we used to do manually. It's just dividing like where ads go. Once it realizes like this makes a good cold ad, for instance, it's going to serve that one to brand new people. Whereas it notices that this one closes a lot of engaged people, it's just going to serve that one to engaged people. Like we're noticing that it's splitting up the spend really well in just one campaign. But now there's like new settings to get used to before you start, where you say, these are the people that viewed my Skool About page. These are the people that are on my email list. These are the people that follow me on social media. Those are my engaged people. And then these people are my customers that have purchased my things. Those are my existing customers. If you do that, like everything's a lot easier as far as the setup goes. But I feel like a lot of people like crank out generic creatives that like throw a lot of money away. That's the thing to kind of avoid. That's like the biggest mistake is just not putting enough of like your humanness into thinking about your group, into thinking about your offer, into thinking about how it's being presented to the customer. There's a lot of like sloppy sort of like, rocket emoji will help you with business strategy. And it's like, dude, that feels wrong. And even though it weirdly checks all the boxes, like there's nothing to a lot of the stuff that goes out that I see a lot of people like just push it out and do like a quantity thing. And so that's kind of that's my current lay of the land. It's like, media buying is getting simpler, but there's way more like noise. And a lot of people think that they could just like generate the ads with like AI and a framework quickly, but you actually have to influence the AI enough if you're using tools to generate ads for the ads to be good. So yeah.
So for somebody who's like afraid of just burning money on ads and like doesn't even know how to get started with this stuff, even if it is like kind of a lot simpler than it used to be, Like, how does somebody just dip their toes into the water of ads? Like, what would be the first kind of basic move they would need to do?
Yeah. You can get set up and running an ad like in a couple hours. I would really suggest anybody that's they think their group is ready for prime time and they kind of like their offer. I would suggest running ads for like a week and just spending even like $5 a day for 7 days. Just spend $30, $40 just one time. See if you could bring one customer because
Mm,
it'll teach you a ton just to do that rep if you've never done it. And you learn a ton. Even if you get nobody, you get all these analytics. You could look at all of these columns as to how people feel about your offer and your ads. You might get comments. You can talk to people. You might get DMs. And so I think the lowest hanging fruit is like spend that like, 3 or 4 hours to set up your pixel, create your first campaign for your first ad. Like I've seen people literally just take a screenshot of their about page for the ad image. So you could literally take a screenshot of like your favorite comment somebody has made in your group. So social proof works really well. A
mm,
square image. Don't think too hard about the image. In fact, like quick and dirty often works better than super planned and super calculated. And
mm,
so like I've seen screenshots of iMessage work, a DM. So like just look for anyone that has liked what you've done so far and use that. If you don't have anything, get your friend to join and get your friend to say something nice so that you could screenshot it and use that as an ad for now. And the time will come when people really like it, but you just need something. And that's kind of the starting point, shoot for taking whatever's on your about page and copying and pasting it in the copy. Like, don't get in your head too much about using the perfect frameworks. A lot of times, a really good offer will actually convert with like pretty poor, like, stuff if it's actually communicated well and it's a good offer. So it's good to just spend 30, $40, see if you have a winning offer, if your offer needs like some work.
mm,
And with that, you kind of will be able to start to develop a plan just based on any feedback. If everyone's hating on your ads in the comments, like it's still feedback. What do they
mm,
hate? Those are the things you need to work on. Is it the ad feels off? Is it the about page feels off? Are people saying scam? A lot of people use like language that's just too fast money because
mm,
they're doing too many fancy things on their about page and they're not conveying enough of the value proposition on their about page. Instead, they're like doing risk reversal and they're doing like that they've over engineered stuff and then everyone's crying scam on their Facebook ads. And so a lot of people just need to like reel it back and be a person again. And that often works better because just like there's so much like bot noise and generic LLM content that I think if you just like write your freaking copy in like all lowercase and it, like it like just came from your mouth, like it stands out now. So as crazy as it is, just like scribble down what your group is. It's like more likely to work in something that's crafted, I think, right now at this moment. Just really
mm,
ironic.
mm. I love that. I remember, I think it was Evelyn. I hope that I'm attributing this correctly, but I think she was talking about refining your offer like through ads, that's a strategy that you can
Mm,
do. Do you have any thoughts around that? Like actually building
yeah.
out your offer through ads?
That sounds like an Evelyn move for sure. I know she does this. So it's a good hypothesis that it could have been her. It when in doubt, like just attribute it to Evelyn because she probably has been doing it if it's a wise like ad decision. Um, yeah, we kind of like think of ads as like a hyper effective like alpha beta testing mechanism for all of our offers. And this is across like school and e-commerce and our other businesses that we've had. So it's pretty tried and true for us. We use it to just keep the momentum going because usually you've built all this momentum, like putting a good offer together and you're
Mm,
excited. And for me, the excitement dies if I have like 2 weeks and nobody joins, or, like a week and I'm ready and I'm posting on social media, but like zero people join. And so for me, the value is like you get high momentum if like you get a person or two or five people joining every day. And
mm,
so we basically spend what we have to spend in the beginning of groups to get like at least 1 to 5 people in the group every day. So we might spend a really stupid amount to do that. But we know that we're doing that like to get better faster. And that's just always how we've done it because we really prioritize like the energetic momentum of like, we're all working together as a team to make our groups. There's usually 2 of us or 3 of us that build
Mm.
Skool groups together. And then like, if you got people coming in and feedback flowing in, the momentum stays alive and the ideas are better and you fix things faster. And so the cost being higher temporarily is like totally fine in my opinion, and always works itself out if you're willing to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like a good perspective to take on building a business in a lot of different ways. Like building your community, it's like it's a learning experience too. And if you're getting value through that learning experience, you have to kind of write that off in terms of what you're spending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So in terms of like maybe organic content, how do you relate to organic content since you're so focused on ads?
Yeah. It's funny because we made the ads lab because I think being good at ads was our most monetizable skill as entrepreneurs prior to Skool. But, me and Matt before the ads lab, we both have e-commerce companies, like 7 and 8 figure stores and hundreds of thousands of customers. And ads is just like one of the things, So we're good at marketing. We're good at like getting reviews and social sort of viral loops and feedback, and we're good at like business. We try to be good at business. And so I feel like for me, like the ads thing was honestly like we wanted to do something together. We're good friends and we were looking to we needed like a change of scenery. And so we built this community to find more people that were running ads, because him and I were peeking at each other's ad accounts all the time. And it was a huge unlock for us. Like I'd look and see what he was spending, what worked and didn't work. And he'd look at mine. We'd both like just elevate our ad game like much more quickly just doing that than we ever did with buying like courses or doing agency work. And so we had this like we had this theory of just like, what if we just started a group and everyone just opened their ad accounts and we all just tried to openly communicate about what is working and what is not working at all times. And that's what started and kind of incepted the group. And I think the ads lab is going to expand in the future, like right now it's Skool only, it's ads only. We've kind of danced with like expanding and being not just Skool or not just ads, because it's largely become like a knowledge base sort of system that's powering all of your marketing materials, ads being the major one. But ads are definitely just one thing, and organic we're somewhat new to, I'll say. Like I've never really focused on organic for my businesses, and he has a team of like I think like 10 to 15 people, and he's never been the person that does organic on his e-commerce store either. So like none of us on our team were good at organic before this. And so we're all learning it and getting into it like now, like after the fact, after kind of growing on Skool for the last year. Um, and we're just kind of figuring it out as we go. I don't have a ton of wisdom, but I think the ads always do better if there's an organic presence and an organic like play. They're really, really complementary. They'll bring your costs of advertising like way down. So we just had to kind of build enough. Um, we had to build our business up enough to kind of delegate some of the work so that somebody could focus more of their energy on that, since I'm focused on being in the group. And the rest of it, we're all focused on either ads or the group. And it took a while for us to build enough sort of like resources to hire somebody that would be doing organic. But that's kind of where we are now after a year.
That makes me kind of wonder about focus and whether you think that whether you can do a lot of these different things at one time. Like there's so many different ways of getting traffic. You could cold email, you could do, a million different things. So do you think that for somebody who's really just starting out trying to make their first online business or something, should they be just focused on ads if they want to do ads, or should they be just focused on organic, or can they do kind of both?
Yeah. I personally would set up your ads first, get your pixel firing, and set them up so there's like momentum rolling in, and people that are reliably, whether you're busy or not, are showing up and viewing your about page every day.
Mm.
because after that first month of running ads, you'll probably be pretty hands off. Like you could kind of stabilize your spend and look away for a couple weeks while you work on organic. Like me and Joel now, we only open our ad account for the ads lab like every 2 weeks,
Hmm.
and we make all the decisions in like 30 minutes, and we don't do anything for another 2 weeks. Sometimes we might make like new creatives within those 2 week periods, and we'll have to launch the new ads at that time too. It might be another 20 minutes, but it doesn't actually take that long. It's just upfront work. So I think do the upfront work first because it buys like gas, just pouring gas. And then once that's set up, you can then kind of start working on like the organic stuff, which is less reliable in the beginning, and you won't have as much of a feeling of momentum, but it's important long term as a part
Yeah,
of the strategy.
that makes a lot of sense to me. Setting up the pixel is one of the first things I would recommend to everybody. Like you're going to be getting that traffic anyway. You might as well be recording it.
Yeah, it's the first thing I do for every group. It's like the second it's there, I turned on right away because it captures every view. Like anyone that views your about page, it
Hmm.
will track that, and every extra view that you have helps Facebook find people to, like send traffic to people that look like that person. So really key, really key.
I'm curious a bit about your process for creatives. Like, how do you go about designing new creatives for the Ads Lab?
Oh man, it's a tough one. We kind of have a team and we have these different styles of creatives that we make, and we have different approaches. So for me, like strictly AI creatives. I like to use Mid Journey, and it's image and video for me. I have a knowledge base, which is like a GPT, like a set of files that I put into a GPT project that help me generate ideas, and like I will talk to it to give it angles and think about what kind of ads to make, and then those ideas I'll open Midjourney and generate like images, and then I'll edit those images sometimes in Midjourney. I'll add text in Midjourney if I can, or I'll pop it into Canva. And yeah, a lot of time the lowest hanging fruit is like I always have this goal of like if we're trying to push and scale a group, you need to at least make like 5 to 10 creatives every week. And so I try to batch make all my creatives like one day per week. Usually takes me like 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours for like 10 creatives, sometimes less time. Um, and I'll get them all done and throw them in the folder, and we'll publish those like on the next go at our ad account. And yeah, and that's how I do it. And we've got kind of different approaches. We'll also clip videos from like our content that are like live streams inside of our community, and we'll run some of those as ads. Sometimes we'll just like screenshot people praise, and we'll run those as ads as well. So we're kind of always on the hunt for something that could be an ad.
And
Yeah.
so what I'm hearing then is you're kind of doing different types of ads, and the Facebook algorithm is getting better and better at serving those ads to the right types of audiences. And so at this point, a lot of the effort is in the just making that creative in that chunk of time and then letting the algorithm do its work.
Yeah, it's seriously. And now that we've spent so much on school ads, like ads to school,
Hmm.
that I think that like before ads work for a group, I like to spend a lot of time getting like the messaging right, because a lot of people spend money on this offer that just isn't quite there yet. And so like for me, for instance, for our other group that we're starting for AI creatives, I've been spending like a good week just like I record a ton of thoughts into my phone. I'm like leaving notes like in my computer, pinning things. I'm like highlighting a lot of things I'm reading on the internet that are kind of related to my thing. And I'm dumping all of these ideas inside of like I use Cortex, which is just a GPT wrapper with Claude and GPT and other things. And I organize my notes in there. And I'm always trying to like improve the way this feels to my target audience. And it's like it's been on the move for like a week. Like I thought it was AI ads, and then it became AI creatives. At first it was more for these types of people, then it became more for, it's like, I kind of have to keep working and thinking and let it evolve a bit.
Mm.
And I feel like when you know, like I've done a bunch of deep research on the demographic as well, but like I think we're ready for ads, like for this group to scale, but just like it takes a lot of for me, collaboration. Like I collaborate with people that are thinking about this issue with me. Like
Mm.
I collaborate with Joel and with Matt a lot to put an offer together that I'm like ready to run ads to.
Love that. I really want to talk about this new group. I'm so excited for it. AI creatives. What is AI creatives about, Devon?
Yeah. Well, we've been running the ads lab for a while, and like I think there's something about like, there's like the right brain and the left brain. There's the creative side, the analytical side. I don't know how outdated that is. I don't know if this is like something people really believe in anymore. But like I feel like it's really hard to do everything in the ads lab. I was finding that like when I'm in that group, I tend to be thinking about data and analytics and marketing and how to take something I made and like make sure the messaging is right. And it's kind of this like it's like all done in this particular state of mind. We wanted a place to just like purely play around all the time in, just a pure creative space. We wanted a place where we could just be making stuff all the time. We could be making videos and images and just like have this aggressive log of everything that we're doing all the time. And so I think we started this idea with this insight that was like, we wanted a place for our creative ideas to be flowing without it always being attached to ads.
Mm.
And we also felt like we had a broad like offer play that we wanted to make. Like we wanted to kind of have a larger audience that we could target for an offer. And like we're a
Mm.
pretty good sized team and we're known and notable as far as like the school platform goes. But we wanted to build an offer that's for schoolers and for everybody else that had a lot more like potential to grow at a large size. And we've also all just been getting into like image and video gen sort of at this higher like level of proficiency. And so we started the AI creatives group as this like lab. I think the idea is like we want to be able to work out our creative work in this group so that we don't just make a bunch of AI slop. Like it feels like all the platforms are just like flooding all this soulless content and it all like smells like AI and it's all like a joke and it just doesn't really feel like human at all. And I feel like a lot of my creative friends are either afraid of it or they're like
Yes.
burning out. And it's just like I feel like we wanted to be a part of this, but I feel strongly like the key right now is in developing taste.
Mm.
And if you have really good taste, you can kind of like cut through trends. I don't think AI is going anywhere, but I think that humans and AI, the we need to be able to make things where it like is a human first thing. So anyways, we're just this like the mission is like it's like a sanctuary for creators who like refuse to let this sort of collective intelligence kill their individual soul for for more or less. And that's how we see it too. It's like artificial intelligence is, I don't think it's as good of a word as collective intelligence because these
Yeah.
tools they're really good. They're the median ideas. It's like the median of all ideas are that. If you want to make something better than what everyone else can make, you have to infuse taste where your taste is at a higher level than the median level of taste that an LLM is capable of, which requires just working hard and like
Yes.
committing to making stuff regularly and wanting to make things that like move people and are interesting. And so that's what the group is for. It's more of this outlet of like the craft of making things and using these tools and then trying not to like lose your humanness in the process, trying not to forget like, so why are you making like what makes this you? Like I see that you're making a Sasquatch video, but like, is there any like what is the you version of this? Like what can you do with this video that nobody else can do? Because
Mhm.
to me, like, you just crank out these trendy things all the time and it makes you want to freaking die eventually. You're just like, oh my God, it's like exhausting. You burn out. And so this is kind of the way we started that one, kind of how we're looking at it.
I love it, man. There's so many things I want to talk about from that angle.
Yeah.
Like one thing that really struck me was how inspiring that kind of space is. Like, and I've always felt this with AI. Like I'm an artist in my past life. I'm still kind of an artist today. And I think that every new tool is a new opportunity for us to express our creativity and hire in different ways. Maybe hire isn't the right word, but in different ways, in exciting ways. And so I get really excited seeing all the possibilities that can happen with AI when people are really, using them in a creative way.
Yeah.
What are some of the ways that you're seeing your members right now using AI that is exciting or interesting for you?
Yeah. It's kind of a wide variety. What's exciting to me is people are just making, like, they don't know what they're going to make in the beginning of the day. And then
Mm,
they'll make like, a music video. And they're like, don't know how that happened by the end of the day. And I think that's awesome. I think it's really, really cool. Got people making like album art, about page images, decent amount of people. We're making marketing assets for our business too. So we're making like ads, video and image ads, um, YouTube thumbnails. I see people making YouTube thumbnails. There's one woman that made like a video of like her dog, like a music video for her dog, like of her dog. It's like it's just kind of like people just kind of expressing themselves sometimes just to get better at the tool, which I think is key. But other times, like they want to make a marketing asset for their business. Like a lot of people like a lot of creative people that have creative roles for companies feeling this pressure, like they have to make more stuff,
mm,
and they're faced with trying to figure out how to do this without like completely, like completely compromising like their creative like vision and their ethical sort of like boundaries. And
mm,
so I like exploring that stuff. I think you can make more stuff now that's more fun. But something we say a lot in the AI creatives group is like the only way out is vibe. And it kind of encapsulates what the whole thing is to me. It's like it's like the act of being creative is the point. And so like the only way to make something that's really good is if you're like just flowing your way through. I think that people that believe in that idea really like the group. And I think that there's like different types of creativity, different types of people that, might want more of a plan. But I'd say right now, the people that are having the most fun are these like, it's when you don't know what you're going to make. And then you end up making something that was really funny or like really interesting because you kind of followed your, your gut and your taste and your goals to develop like an intuition in
mm,
your creativity as opposed to like a metric. Like I believe that if you hone your like taste and build your intuition, then you will make more money because your stuff will stand out. And so I don't think about how to formulaically make more money. I try to make stuff that's more impactful. And then later when we're packaging it in ads, we might use a framework in the copy that surrounds it, or we might like use something effective on the landing page, but like the piece itself, like it should just be
mm,
really, really good. Like you should just connect with it. And so,
mm.
yeah, that's the types of people and types of projects and types of vibes going on in there right now.
I'm curious your perspective on like efficiency with AI because I know that a lot of people are using AI, I think, with the sole purpose of being efficient. And maybe that's where some of the fear around it comes from is like we're just trying to use it to create, whatever articles or copy or artwork just so that we can pump more stuff out because we want traffic and we want customers. And it it really kind of kills it. And I think people lose, they don't really understand, at least some people don't seem to understand how much creativity can go into prompt designing, for example. It's like, it's not just about writing in any random prompt. You can really get like specific and creative with what's already possible with these tools. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. For me, I think I feel like we have a mix of ads that are kind of like vibe ads and then really efficient ads. So I feel like we've kind of tested what things work and what things don't work a lot. And then we run ads for a lot of people. I will say that like there's some tried and true things that just like work. Um, and I don't want to knock those things, but I feel like there's something different. I like bringing like a quality of customer to my business, and I feel like I attract higher quality customers when I have a higher quality asset that attracts the customer. And the page that they land on has that quality as well, and this like feel to it. It like speaks something like a language that I want people that understand that language to join. And so for me, I don't know. It's like some ads might work better, but like at attracting people that might not work better for your business. That like they for me, it's like the people that might respond to like super hardcore social proof ad where there's like a countdown, like and it's really this classically done up thing. Those types of people might also churn really hard, maybe be more systematized. I
Mm.
don't know, it's I really feel like even though we have all of these formulas that we use for the ads lab and for clients, and we've been mixing in more of these, like, let's just go to Mid Journey and generate stuff for a couple hours and see what happens. And we mix those in and they often do better. And so I think that I'm starting to change my opinion on this now. I haven't completely formed an opinion, but like if I
Mm.
go to my Mid Journey where I generate most of my ads now, like my prompts are really, really like vague and esoteric a lot of the times. Like today, I made these ads. It all it says is commit. The other
Mm.
day, it was just like it was like the only way out is vibe. Guy on the beach, lady love was one that hit pretty hard. But I'll like add a lot of style. I might add like visual inspiration and mix like styles together that you wouldn't expect. You don't know what it's going to make. And so for me, it's like a game. And then I just follow what I love. And I'm always kind of my mind is kind of just like thinking about like what things will fit where as I'm doing it. And so like I sometimes will just start on Mid Journey and then I'll be like, ooh, that would be good on the about page. And then I'll be like, okay, so what would it say? And then I just start working with that. And
Mm.
so sometimes I just go into work and then I realize like, oh, this will go on like an article or this will be an ad.
Mm.
Oh, let's make her spin. And so it's like it just it kind of depends, but I enjoy the process more. So I make way more things. This is
Yeah.
another thing is like I don't like making formulaic ads all the time. It's really
Mm.
boring. And so it's really fun to go in and like explore and find stuff you really love and like I make so much more stuff whenever I like am having fun like that. And so that's another reason that that I just like believe that that should be the way because I can make 10 times more ads or creative assets for the business in the course of a week than if it's just purely functional.
Mm.
Um so yeah.
I'm curious about your relationship with AI. Do you feel like it's getting to the place where it's becoming a really a creative partner, or are you steering the ship 100% of the time? Like, what would you say to
Yeah.
that?
I have a really specific setup with my AI tools. I I go on walks every day, usually like 1 hour long walks. I live in a really rural area. And so I'm offline the whole time. I don't have a signal. And then I record all of my thoughts on these walks. And I'm kind of just like thinking about the businesses, thinking about like what holes need to be patched during these times. So I have a daily log of all of these thoughts.
Mm.
And I'll usually go on this walk. And when I come back, I'll dump, it's often like a couple thousand words. I'll dump a couple thousand words into whatever this system is and I'll make some kind of ad or some kind of asset, creative like thing out of it. Sometimes it's a script for a video that I'm trying to like make that might go viral that we could also use as an ad, or it'll be like the way we're presenting things is often what it is. Like the strategy behind how to present AI creatives to the world is something I was like trying to figure out for the last couple weeks. And so I go on these walks, I collect a lot of my own thoughts, and then AI is just helping me like organize them and make decisions at this point. Like I have a couple of prompts that I use consistently with my voice notes where it basically breaks down my voice notes and helps me think about the ideas, and then I work out the outputs. And a lot of my prompts are built to like retain my voice. So it's kind of like it's like agenda item number 1, always retain my voice completely. So it's like I need, so it's like for me, I think creativity is in like making my own stuff is the key. And then AI is like how I can take all of these raw thoughts and vision and then solidify them really quick. Like
Mm.
on Sunday morning, I like took all of my thoughts from the last 7 days, and I have this like content prompt where I just take all of my raw thoughts and all of my highlights from the last 7 days as well from books and articles that I read. And then it just cranks out like 40 tweets and 2 articles and scripts. And then I go through and I'll pull over the tweets that I like, and then I'll edit them down into my writing because they're already preserved. Like my prompt preserves the way they're written. So they're already in my voice. So they're already like 90% there. I'll just fucking remove the M dashes or, like redundancy. You said this twice. And then I'll cue everything for a week, and it's like I use it to like systematize, because the hard part for a creative person is not in the vision or the ideas. The hard part is like, I have to commit to executing this shit and getting it out into the world regularly because I need to make an income in my life. So that's
Yeah.
the hard part. And the group that we're putting together is the accountability for the hard part.
Mm.
And I think the ads lab might be becoming more of like a lab for the systems half of the brain, that like you need to get things out into the world. You need to make the ads, you need to make the emails. And so that's kind of the way that I'm thinking about it now.
I love that. Yeah, I'm having a very similar type of processing, I think, for my own businesses, I guess, like just figuring out how can I build infrastructure, basically AI infrastructure, to take my ideas and then put them into predictable formats that I've approved of, that I can refine and like make better later on. But yeah, it's like you said, getting them into that kind of artifact form and not just staying in the artist mind is a big thing that AI is helping us with.
Yeah. There's always this sort of like, there's always a dance of like making something just strictly to make it, and then putting it out into the world in some kind of way that's going to like lead back to you have more security in life because it made you some money. There's always like a compromise in that. There's art to that. That's creativity, figuring that shit out. Everyone has a different sort of like, like place they land when they make that conversion. Some people are super pure. They're just like, my art is my art. It will not change. I will present it and I will work on the next piece of art. And some people are like all the way the other way. They're just like, it needs to convert and that's all I care about. And I think I'm somewhere in the middle, to be honest. I think like I've been an artist before, and it was very hard for me to like make money. It was like I could only ever break even. And then I've been in marketing and I've made money in marketing, and it's like I've had issues in both of these departments for a long time. And so I'm like trying to find my center. It's challenging. It's like might take my lifetime to find that center where I feel like I made the right amount of money and I still feel good about the thing I made at the same time. Like that's just a challenging thing that everybody has to figure out, I think. It's like that's just like life as an internet entrepreneur, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like I kind of want to wrap up this conversation, but I also really want to ask you what your thoughts are around Neuralink and speeding up the bandwidth of that processing.
Oh man, it's a tricky one. I feel like Neuralink goes too far for me. Like, I do believe that like I need to have an analog and digital balance in order for my soul to like be like retained.
Mm.
So I prioritize that pretty heavily, and I think with Neuralink, it's like I think you're kind of fucked, to be honest. If you've got that, like, I don't think anything at that point would be digital. If you're writing and you're plugged in, I don't know. It feels pretty
Like too much bandwidth.
off boundaries. Yeah, feels like I feel dystopian about that direction in particular.
Mm.
What about you?
I don't know. I don't know if I feel like it's almost an inevitable direction. Just watching the way that the technology is moving, I don't believe that we can really fight technology or that we necessarily should. Um, so I feel like it's probably coming at some point. Um, yeah, I don't know. We're living in very interesting times.
Yeah, there's like these mourning periods that we keep having. Like we recently started to mourn the death of the photographer,
Mm,
when, in the person that's the designer. And then
mm,
the mourning period kind of transitions and designers are just using AI tools. Like I'm pretty nervous about the Neuralink one where like people start to feel disadvantaged that don't have Neuralink,
mm,
and like people want to do it because of the disadvantage gap, and then enough people do it to where like you can't make it without it. Like I'm kind of like, if that happens, I would be like, I like I might like bug out, just like live off the grid. Or
mm.
I might like just cash out, dude, and be done. Cause I like, that's like for me, it's like there's the humanity is like completely foregone at that point. You've like handed it over. Maybe I'm blowing it out of the proportions, but yeah, it's
It's a really interesting topic. I'm curious about like I know of course the economic implications and the equality implications are going to be major with all of this technology, how it rolls out. I think, and that's going to happen fast. Um, yeah, I don't even know where to go from here. I guess
I
I'm optimistic that we can find our way through it, but I feel like these conversations are really important. So I appreciate that you're
yeah, dude,
bringing
they
some
are.
light. Yeah.
I think more people should, formulate strong opinions now and put them out there and
Mm.
in preparation for what's to come. I saw some Neuralink news in the last week or two, but I didn't follow too closely. Was it like a limb? I saw a hand. I saw this. Is this what you're
Yeah.
thinking? Did they like
Yeah.
wire a hand up to somebody? Is that what it was?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like clearly useful. I mean, if you don't have a hand and now you have a hand, I'm not gonna. I mean, come on, it seems like a net positive there, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's when it becomes just like the same thing as kind of like, well, do you like a natural baby, or do you want to like completely edit the genome so the baby has these qualities? It become like I'm against
Mm,
the second thing, more than yeah.
mm. Devon, to be continued. Really nice speaking with you.
Super fun. Thanks for having me.